Yes, this is Dr. Bent Surgery, where former Burton Albion striker turned doctor Darren Bent gives us 3 ways to fix VAR. Good luck with that. There were 9 VAR checks during Chelsea's 4-1 win over Spurs last night. Live and exclusive on talkSPORT. The Spurs gaffer Ange Postecoglou spoke after the match, said that he isn't a fan of the way VAR has influenced the game. Have a listen to this, then we'll have a little chat on the back of it.
If we're going to be standing up and complaining about decisions every week, then they're going to go through them forensically. And we're just going to have to stand around and wait for them. And I don't like it. I've never liked it. I've always, in my 26 years, been prepared to accept the referee's decision, good, bad or otherwise. And trust me, I've had some shockers in my career. I've had some go my way as well. But I could stomach that. But I don't think it's what football's about, waiting around. If it's offside, it's offside. If it's not offside, it's not offside. Because people are seeking some kind of utopia where all decisions are correct. That doesn't exist.
Now, for a long time, I've been a fan of VAR, right? But last night the game was flowing so dramatically well. I mean, it was just boiling and boiling and boiling, and I was watching going, and all of a sudden they stopped VAR.
Yeah.
And then they look at it, and they look at it again, and they look at it again, and like 4 or 5 minutes. And I don't know what it'd be like as a footballer, but as a fan of football, I'm watching it going, and it took the whole flow out of the game. 9 times yesterday.
I didn't mind it, and I think they pretty much got it bang on. The result, the only decision yesterday I couldn't get my head around was the whole Romero on the floor kicking somebody. I thought that was a straight red card.
I just don't get how that wasn't given when you've got VAR.
And we've seen Casemiro, was it last season, get some round the front for half a second, him get sent off. We've seen...
Which sort of, you could argue, didn't really... But anyway.
Do you know what I mean? We saw Doucouré and Kane with the head, but at Goodison Park, was it? And he got sent off last season. And unless they've changed that rule, that's the only decision last night I thought, well, hold on a second here. I thought if there was petulance and you kick out at anybody on the pitch, you can go back to 98 for that. With Beckham, I thought that was a red card. That's the only decision I went that baffled me a bit. But I thought pretty much everything else was spot on.
Do you think it's possible ever to go back to no VAR? I don't mean would you like to. I mean, do you think there'll ever be a time where they go, actually, the game was better without VAR? Or do you think now we've got it, it's here forever?
I think they'll keep using it, but I think there is an element that some people will probably prefer it not to be, because there's something really refreshing about watching the Championship, for instance, where someone scores a goal, you have a quick glance at the linesman, he's on his way back to the halfway line, you know it's a goal. Everyone goes bonkers.
See, that's what we forget, right? Because I watch so much Premier League football, I actually forgot football exists without VAR.
Honestly, it's so refreshing. You see a goal going, like a great team goal, you just have a quick glance at the linesman,
boom, done.
He's on his way back and you're done. Whether then they score a goal, they get back to the halfway line, you have to wait while they do a goal check, and it's like,
I think we're having more arguments and more debates about referees' decisions being wrong than we did when there was no VAR and they were making wrong decisions in games.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. But then who's to blame for that? Is it the players putting too much pressure on the referees, surrounding the referee?
So you've come up with 3 ideas that you think would help VAR. Is that right? Okay.
One of them would be to have ex-players in the... I've said it from day one. I understand that referees have said about the qualifications for ex-players and who that ex-player is, but there's so many out there that would like to get involved in that, just to see it from a different perspective. Like if a defender leaves his foot in and it looks like it's accidental, you can get a player in there that goes, I'm telling you now, he meant to do that. It wasn't accidental. He's left his foot there knowing this could happen. I think that's just to have another pair of eyes, just to go, what do you think about that? Because there are some that are contentious and you're like, he's jumped to elevate with his arms up and he's elbowed the guy in the face. Did he mean to do that? And referees might go, yeah, he meant it. But then the player might say to them, well, he didn't mean it. When you go up in that particular circumstance, your arms always go to this point, and it just so happens that the defender's head's there. It's not intentional. So I think another pair of eyes in there would be a player would help.
Okay. Do you it's interesting you say it. Do you think that players would, because a lot of players... does it matter if the player was an ex-player from League 2? Or no. Does it need to be a high-profile name?
Well, no, I don't think it has to be... it doesn't have to be top, because I don't think you'd really get top potentially, but you could still... If you've played the game at a professional level... Right. Then why give them an opportunity? Just cause,
you know a lot of ex-players. Do you think a lot of them...
I think a lot of them would do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If it was like on rotation, you do one a month.
Yeah, just to give... But my point is, why don't they just try it? Listen, it might not work and it might be awful, right? But at the minute, VAR's under so much pressure, so much scrutiny, it might even take a bit off the referee. Because the referees might go, well, listen, he made the decision.
And if you did have that ex-player, would we know who it is? Would we be like Darren Bent's on VAR this week?
I think that's something they'd have to think about.
Would you do it?
I would, you know. Yeah, I would.
Would you?
Yeah.
So you would sit in here on a Monday and I go, Bentley, how on earth did you get it? What on earth is your thought?
And I say, I wasn't at that game.
No, but you know what I mean, if you were.
Yeah. But,
you wouldn't have a problem with that.
No, because if there's a decision that I've made and you don't agree with it...
Thinking about it now, I think fans would give you so much more stick.
Potentially, but listen, what's the worst that could happen, Andy? By having a player in there.
I know, but as an ex-player, you might be thinking, I don't need this in my life.
You get stick anyway, regardless. Well, listen, we get stick, the job we do now.
Do you? I don't.
But
I'm loved by the nation.
Mate,
I'm like Princess Diana.
Listen to me, you've blocked 6,000 people on social media. Some people don't
Benty,
listen,
it's more like 9,000.
Listen, people don't have that many followers. You've blocked 9,000. Do you know what I mean?
That's one. You get former players in.
Yeah.
What was two?
Right, another thing I think is the challenges. I think maybe bring in some challenges. Because as you said last night, so many different instances, maybe each team gets... I don't know.
Oh, like in tennis, a challenge of...
2 challenges.
Okay.
Now,
so are you saying no VAR unless the manager in the dugout has said, have a look?
Have a look at that. Yeah.
Okay.
Because offside,
That's
you
nice.
can't challenge an offside because that's black and white. Regardless whether it's a toenail,
Yep.
that's black and white. But like a challenge.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like some form of challenge.
Who would decide that? The manager?
The manager, or
Okay.
you could delegate
I like
that. Or
that.
the captain on the pitch because he's the one in the thick of it.
Okay, I like that.
Have a look at the gaffer. Challenge.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
have a
maybe-
word. The Lineker have a word.
Yeah, now I don't know how many challenges you'd get, but maybe
Let's say 3.
3 each.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So
I like
think
that.
that'd
That's
be a
nice.
work. And another thing as well, which I hate and I can't stand, and I think we've spoke about it before, when the referee goes over to the screen, don't have the image, say that Romero challenge, which was a red card, but don't have the image on the screen of Romero's foot halfway up the guy's shin.
Yeah.
And play it at real speed. Don't play it at slow. Because you slow anything down, it looks appalling, doesn't it?
Yes.
But when you get to the screen, the ref, press play from the very start of that whole scenario and then let you make your mind up. Don't have him already in his head. So he goes to the screen and the picture, the first thing he sees is Romero's studs in someone's calf.
A freeze frame of that.
Freeze frame, no.
Yeah.
Go back to the start of the play.
So you would have a former player in there.
Mm-hmm.
You would have challenges
Yep.
from the manager.
Mm-hmm. Or captain.
And you'd have no freeze frames to begin with.
Correct.
Okay.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.